paint. They found their scoring, not only from the forwards, but the guards as well. They will need to control the paint offensively and defensively as well.
Nevaeh Dean, Esther Matarranz on the jump, and it is one backed by UC Irvine. Underway here in the Inland Empire with Robert Schofield, Jachelle Wardlow, and Erskine Robinson are officials. And you see the starting lineup for UC Irvine, all upperclassmen. And there's Deja Lee out of control. A traveling violation results in a turnover on the first possession of the ball game.
If you look up and down the tail of the tape, both teams are so stacked up evenly. Protecting the basketball will also be a very important thing. We know both teams can do it. We know both teams can play very heavily and stingily, if that's even a word, defensively. So it's a matter of who can bring their A game tonight here in the SRC Arena.
UC Riverside has used this starting five for 6 consecutive games now. And in the corner, Zoe Tillery for 3 splashes at home. And that's a good sign for UC Riverside because Tillery was scoreless for the first time this year on Thursday in the loss to Long Beach State.
Shooting the three-pointer was really difficult for the Highlanders in the last game, so solid for them to begin that way.
Quick answer for Hunter Hernandez. The junior out of San Jose is UC Irvine's leading scorer at 14 points per game.
A product of Archbishop Mitty, 4 players from this UCI team that came from that high school. She didn't play last season because of that red shirt, but that knee looks really good here.
Tillery going for another 3 at the other end, and now it's Olivia Williams. Looked like some contact across the arm, but no foul called. And it's ultimately Shelly Duchemin, UC Riverside's leading scorer, with the rebound and bringing it 4.
That was a close call for Esther Matarranz as she got into foul trouble early in the first half on Thursday against Long Beach State. With her being out of the game, you give up the leading rebounder on this UCR team. There's so much length that UC Irvine brings into this game.
Matarranz draws a double, and the foul will give a fresh 20 seconds here for UC Riverside. So the Highlanders at 2-1 in conference play. It's the first time in 5 years they have a winning conference record through the first 3 games. They had started 0-3 each of the last 3 seasons.
They've had some streaks early on where they lost a couple, then they went on a great tear where they won 5 straight. That streak was broken in Las Vegas against UNLV and against Long Beach State, so they have to be very careful and not allow for a 3rd straight loss here at the SRC Arena.
3 on the timer, and Matarranz bails out the Highlanders with that possession after Nikki Tom nearly had the steal for UC Irvine.
And a great shot right around 17 feet from Esther Matarranz. Did not have much offensive capability in the last game because she was in foul trouble. There she is, picking up a rebound. Head coach Brad Langston is going to need her to be actively involved in the offense and the defense.
And Matarranz just 2 points in 12 minutes on Thursday because of that foul trouble. Duchemin finds Matarranz across the lane, left it short, and the rebound controlled by Nevaeh Dean.
I think she was surprised with how open she was on that layup driving into the paint.
Inside, Dean stepping through, but off the mark. And off into the corner, it's out of bounds to UC Riverside.
And too strong off the glass, but you saw how quickly she found herself wide open with the ability to score. Just a little too much hustle behind the muscle on that shot.
So UC Irvine got a big win against Cal Poly on Thursday, 60-38. It was the fewest points the Anteaters have allowed all season. And already the 4th time this year that they've held an opponent under 50.
Yeah, averaging 39.5 points from the opposition in their Big West play. Great pass into Michaela Rose, and she's going to score inside the paint. Anytime the Highlanders have utilized Rose inside the paint, she's been very effective.
And a steal and score for Shelly Duchemin, and UC Riverside has jumped out to a 9-2 lead. And another deflection as the Highlanders defense is all over UC Irvine in the backcourt.
Absolutely. You saw that Rose knocked that ball out of possession. Could have nearly knocked it off of UCI for another turnover, but this full court presses look good, and the defense for the Highlanders has been very efficient in these opening moments.
Summa Hansen is on for UC Irvine, their number 2 scorer coming off the bench. And there is Hunter Hernandez splashing home the triple. She's got all 5 points early on for the Eaters.
What a player. 2022-23 All Big West first team. 21-22 All Big West freshman team. Would have kept that streak going had she not had that ACL injury that kept her out of last season. But as the doctors and technology go, they've got her up and running, and she's just having a strong start to this year.
Jordan Marshall coming off the bench moments ago, and now 5 on the timer. Loose dribble, looking for help, and throws it away right to Hansen.
Yeah, Marshall had a couple of players wide open, telegraphed that pass.
So Hansen off the mark. Offensive rebound short from Hernandez. Dean is fouled, and she will head to the free throw line.
See how relentless the Anteaters have been rebounding the basketball. The team that controls the boards, and with both teams being very equal, rebounding the basketball offensively and defensively, whoever wins that battle is really going to have a key advantage in today's game.
After a 9-2 start for UC Irvine, a chance now as you see head coach Tamara Inoue in her 9th season. Chance for UC Irvine to make this a one-possession game. As Nevaeh Dean heads to the foul line, 4 of 7 at the line this year. And now we'll get one more. But how about the job Tamara Inoue has done at UC Irvine? This is a program that had 2 winning seasons in the previous 15 before she arrived. And now over the last few years, if they're not finishing first or second, it's an upset.
And what a turnaround. They went to the NCAAs last season as the 13th seed. They won the conference tournament the season before that. They were regular season champions. So the Anteaters are a serious contender here in the Big West, courtesy of their head coach.
No points at the other end from Dean at the line. Timer winding down again, and Michaela Rose knocks it down. From about 20 feet, Rose with 4 early points.
She got into the SRC arena about 2.5 hours before this game tipped off, and she was taking drills, shooting the basketball from the distance. She didn't miss, and I'm not surprised that she hits that bucket as quickly as she did.
Fights through a screen to stay with Deja Lee, and Hansen misses it all. Tom tried to clean it up, but it was blocked. Hernandez will not go, looking for a foul.
I thought that would have been a whistle on Maya Chicano, number 13, who checks in the game for the Highlanders, but the officials are letting both teams play today.
Reset here for UC Riverside, trying to snap a 2-game losing streak today and also get their first win over UC Irvine in 4 years. Wild take from Rose, and Hansen's got it underneath the basket.
Yeah, it's been a long time since UCR has won. Last time they won was January the 8th in the year 2021. 7-game winning streak for the Anteaters since.
Quick moving first quarter. Matarranz putting her head down, drew a double. Wickstrom steps inside the line and knocks it down.
And great ball movement from Matarranz, finding the wide open Jordan Marshall, passes it out to Wickstrom, used that pump fake hesitation and created some space for herself. She's a great shooter, one of the best three-point shooters on the Highlanders, but she found herself inside the three-point line and buries the jumper.
3 games with 4 or more threes this season for Wickstrom, though she did go 0 of 6 from distance the other night against Long Beach State.
She did struggle, but she was efficient when she found her way inside the paint.
In and out on the 3 from Hansen. A lot of usage for her early on since coming in off the bench. Chocano with a step on Hansen, swatted away by Deja Lee. Out of bounds, last touch by UC Riverside. And the Anteaters will have it when we return. But UC Riverside, upset-minded on their home floor, off to a fast start.
Credit Union One Free Checking has everything you need to bank on the go, make deposits and more with our highly rated mobile app. And get your direct deposit up to 2 days sooner with CU1 Early Pay. Open your account in minutes at creditunion1.org.
Introducing CU1 High Yield Checking, the account that rewards you for everyday banking. Earn up to 5.25% APY when you make qualifying transactions each month. No minimum or opening balance required. Get started at cu1.com/high yield checking.
It's easy to play it safe, but that's not our story. Only the bold. It's our mission. A call for risk takers and change makers to shine. In the classroom, in the community, and in competition. Bold is our past, our future, our passion. Bold is the next level. The Big West, only the bold.
Hi, this is Glenn Moss. Moss Brothers Auto Group is here for the students, campus, and community at UC Riverside. We are where adventure meets performance and muscle meets efficiency. Where Highlanders rule the road and trailblazers create new paths. where you can pilot your dreams and rise to any challenge because you believe you are going to win. Like you, we will always find a way at Moss Brothers Auto Group to help you because at Moss, you're the boss.
Have you been injured or wronged? Call the Accident Network Law Group for a free case evaluation. After an accident, dealing with increased medical bills and harassing phone calls from the insurance company can be overwhelming. We are here to answer all your questions and explain your best options. The Accident Network Law Group is on your side to get the maximum compensation possible after an accident. If you've been injured or wronged, speak with our attorneys today at 951-554-1010 or visit us online at accidentnetwork.com. As always, there is no cost or obligation in calling our office, so call us today.
.331 to play in the first quarter. UC Riverside up on UC Irvine. Anteaters are 2-0 in Big West play thanks to a big win the other night against Cal Poly. Eaters didn't necessarily play their best, but still, you're going to hold a team under 40, you're probably going to win.
Impressive, and Hernandez, a great outing, 18.7 rebounds. Williams at 10 points and 2 rebounds. 2 of the 4 scores for the Anteaters that have already hit the century mark in terms of points. So many weapons on this team, and they're off to a tremendous start in this new year.
That was their first home game since November 16th. They had played 7 straight games on the road, which included trips to the likes of Philly, Albuquerque, Denver, and Oregon. And UC Irvine able to get a bucket right out of the timeout, and now they're going to get it right back as UC Riverside turns it over.
It's such a strong drive to the basket by the Anteaters. Both teams coming in. Well, for the Highlanders, they shooting the ball really well in the opening moments. 6 for 10 coming out of the timeout for field goal percentage. UC Irvine having a little bit of trouble, but they still find themselves very much in this basketball game.
They go right back to Ines Niaore, originally from France. JUCO transfer has been heavily involved after she began the year injured, has now played in the last 4 games, and after making that bucket moments ago, will go to the foul line.
Comes in, she was first team all-conference selection at Salt Lake Community College, where she led the Bruins back last season with the SWAC regular season championship. She's been very effective here. Well, only came in averaging 8.2 minutes per game, but she's already stamped her name offensively in this game with a few baskets. We see the Anteaters applying that pressure. That was something that was an Achilles heel for the Highlanders in that game here Thursday against Long Beach State. But they broke that press effectively there with Tillery leading the point guard charge.
Gemma Cutler in the ball game as Duchemin falls away and gets it to go.
Huge jumper and a huge confidence booster for her. She freed herself up frequently on Thursday. She just kept rattling it out of the rim, so that should be a big basket for her as far as her mentality is concerned. She leads UCR in points this season.
Sherelle Nahum in the ball game. They're on the left wing, trying to go back door for Niaore. And off the baseline, it'll stay with the Eaters.
See Gemma Cutler in the game. Gemma Cutler had a really fine offensive performance here on Thursday.
She played a lot because Esther Matarranz was in foul trouble. Had a season-high 9 points to go along with 6 rebounds. 5 on the timer. Nahum gets it up. Bit too strong, but inside. Niaore had it out of bounds. It should be UC Irvine basketball. Shot clock did not reset. And it will be Anteaters basketball. A little confusion there because it did not reset and the clock expired, but should have reset off the miss.
Yeah, but great defense by the Highlanders, allowing that shot clock to hit the 0 mark.
Amelia Scharf traveled. And so UC Riverside will have it after all. 2:01 to play in the first.
Attribute that to the defensive prowess of Duchemin. Here comes that full court pressure with Nahum defending Tillery, but Tillery having no problem getting past the half court.
Tillery steps into the long 2, and it rattles home. Well, 5 early points for Zoe Tillery. A junior out of Sacramento has started every game in the backcourt this season for Brad Langston. And this is an offensive foul, illegal screen as Nahum trying to get in front of the UC Riverside defender and out of control. It goes back to the Highlanders, back-to-back turnovers for UC Irvine.
Nahum hit the scorer's table pretty hard, knocked our drinks over. Felt that impact way over here broadcasting and calling this game. You know, we talk about Tillery, it's 6.5 points per game. Her point total has decreased these past couple of games, but she's having a solid start here with about 1:25 left in the first quarter.
Zone look defensively for UC Irvine, and it's knocked free of Duchemin, picked up by Deja Lee, and she turns it over. It is Michaela Rose, one of the best stealers in the conference, stepping in front of the passing lane.
And a couple of pickpockets between both teams, in Lee and Rose. Talked about how Lee's on pace to be the Anteaters' all-time leader with steals, but Michaela Rose showing her ability to knock the basketball out of a guard's hands.
And Shelly Duchemin gets into the middle of the zone. And for Shelly Duchemin, she's got 6 points in the first quarter.
Completely different-looking Highlanders team here, shooting the basketball so well, and it's not just one player. A lot of players getting involved offensively here, up by 10 with the shot clock set to expire and the game clock. 33 seconds to play in this quarter.
Hansen missed at the cup, and the loose ball foul going against Ines Niaore.
And again, I can't help but stress a solid start by the Highlanders. Currently riding a 2-game losing streak, having lost to UNLV and having lost to Long Beach State. UC Irvine, one of the best teams in the conference. They got so many points, and very big argument to be made as to why they should win the Big West. So with the Highlanders playing the way they are, that's going to open a lot of eyes here in the Big West.
Negligible difference between shot and game clock. And in fact, they can turn the shot clock off, and they do. Final seconds, Seneca Hackley dumps it for Duchemin, just gets it away and knocks it down to cap a brilliant first quarter for UC Riverside. 21-9, the Highlanders with a fast start on the defending conference.
A huge difference. I mean, we see the score. Savannah Tucker played great in that game against Long Beach State. Michaela Rose got hot when she needed to. The Highlanders struggled shooting the three-point basket in the last game. They only shot 2 from beyond the arc. They're getting all their points in the paint, and all 5 starters have scored in this first quarter.
An extended zone defensive look here from UC Irvine with Olivia Williams back in the ball game and at the top of it, and it generates a turnover. A little bit of pressure there along the sideline. Third turnover committed by UC Riverside. Flip side for UC Irvine, they shot just 3 of 15 in the first quarter and committed 5 turnovers.
Yeah, surprising start for the conference champions, but that's a testament to how well that the Highlanders have been playing. I mean, shooting the ball, getting everybody involved offensively, and that defensive progression down, taking the ball from Tillery, was huge. Anytime the guards were pressured for the Highlanders in that game against Long Beach State, a lot of turnovers were forced.
And here's another turnover, and it's Deja Lee stopping and finishing. First points for Deja Lee. So over the last 2 quarters, including that fourth quarter against Cal Poly on Thursday night, UC Irvine only scored 17 points when you include that bucket by Lee.
It's amazing that they're only averaging 59 points per game. There's more pressure applied by the taller forwards on Tillery, forcing another turnover.
And Williams able to get it to roll. And that is 3 turnovers forced by this UC Irvine defense to begin the quarter.
I mentioned that in my keys to the game. Pressuring the guards would be something the Anteaters would need to do in order to be effective. And we just saw it on those last 2 sequences down the court. They forced a couple of turnovers by doing just that, pressuring the guards up top.
Seneca Hackley for 3. On an offensive rebound, tracked down by Michaela Rose. UC Riverside clearly sped up by the zone defense, but Tillery steps in and knocks it down. She is perfect from the floor, already 7 points.
Got the hot hand, Zoe Tillery, already at that season average, but Anteaters respond right away with another jump shot.
And and it is Olivia Williams. She's their top three-point shooter. Back-to-back buckets for Williams.
You see that zone defense, and the Anteaters are going to utilize a couple of different defensive sequences between going man-to-man and zone, but the zone has proven to be more effective here in this first half.
And a foul whistled against UC Irvine. That'll go against Hunter Hernandez. And it has been all about defense for UC Irvine, especially over the last few years under Tamara Inouye. They have finished each of the last two seasons ranked in the top 15 nationally in scoring defense. Last year they were 14th. 2 years ago they were 7th. As there's a three from Seneca Hackley in the corner. And in fact, they're going to say two. Her foot was on the line. Just a two-point basket for Hackley.
Yeah, Hackley got the first few starts of the season, has since been coming off of the bench, but a big basket for her in these opening moments of the second quarter.
Both teams shooting well. Nevaeh Dean, her first points.
And for two teams that average just under 60 per game, this is starting to look like a track meet early on. You might see both teams exceed their season-long averages.
Well, UC Irvine has already made 4 baskets in the second quarter after making 3 in the entire first quarter. And Wickstrom has it knocked free. Nahum back on after it. And Wickstrom is able to get a hand up and draw the foul. And Sherelle Nahum picks up her second foul.
And she seems utterly surprised by that call from the officials. She thought she stripped that ball from Wickstrom clean, but suffice to say, foul on her.
Olivia Williams returning to the Anteaters. Esther Matarranz checking in for the Highlanders.
No changes here for both teams as UC Riverside had led by as many as 12 coming right there at the end of the first quarter. And UC Irvine shooting well, turning the Highlanders over, have got it back within 7.
It's that zone defense that has been stifling, and there you see it again. Anytime any of the guards have caught the pass up by the perimeter, there's been 2 or 3 players on them.
Hackley, this time it's a 3 from the opposite corner. Really balanced production from UC Riverside so far today.
Now, Hackley started 8 games of the season, averaging just under 6 points per game, but solid shooting performance thus far.
Olivia Williams picking things up, averages 9 points per game. A third-year starter in the backcourt has 7 points in this second quarter alone. Inside, Matarranz blocked from behind by Nahum, who quickly put her hands behind her back, did not want to pick up a third foul. That was a clean look there for Matarranz. Couldn't finish the job, though.
And a great defensive play by Nahum. Nahum already is having a great career here at UC Irvine, was the 2023-2024 Big West All-Freshman Team selection.
Inside, off the inbounds pass, Hannah Wickstrom finishes it off. Took a little bit of contact as well.
From the land down under, scoring up and under.
Nahum into the lane. Knocked free, looking for Dean, picked up by Duchemin. Matarranz running forward. The bounce pass right at her foot. And a kickball. Should be UC Irvine basketball.
Yeah, just too low of a bounce pass from Duchemin. Matarranz is one of the, if not the tallest players on the Highlanders side, standing at about 6'2", so Duchemin's going to have to hit her a lot higher on that fast break in order to get Matarranz effective in the fast break.
It is Highlanders basketball. This is deflected into the backcourt, and it's picked up by Kaylani Polk.
Speaking of which, she celebrated a birthday here just a few short days ago, so happy birthday, Kaylani Polk.
Freshman out of Compton, did not feature the other night. Hackley trying to get in off the miss from Wickstrom, but it's picked up in traffic by Hernandez. Carried forward by Nikki Tom. Steadying presence for the Anteaters over the years. Her 110th consecutive appearance as she's challenged by Hackley.
2-time Big West All-Academic selection. Does it on the court and in the classroom.
Deja Lee, quiet so far, cradles the ball and draws a foul.
Strong drive into the paint, attracting the foul. And that's another thing that she does really, really well. Deja Lee, just such an outstanding player.
Lauren Madsen, Summa Hansen on for UC Irvine. With Williams and Dean heading to the bench. 10-point lead for UC Riverside. A quick start for the Highlanders against the preseason number 2 team.
And barely preseason. I think they were 1 point shy of Hawaii for having that first place nod.
Exactly that. As Deja Lee, the senior out of Surrey, British Columbia, readies for one more foul shot. First time in UC Irvine history that a Conference Player of the Year honor when she won it last season. Up to 3 points now and gets the deficit to single digits. And a clock issue here we will get sorted out in short order.
And the officials asked for 3 additional seconds back on the game clock, as we were at 5:02 prior to the correction.
Freshman against senior here, bringing the ball up. And Polk does well to get it into the front court.
Showing us that she potentially could be the point guard of the future for Brad Langston.
Hackley from the corner knocks it down again. Right corner, left corner. Seneca Hackley's been knocking him down, her second 3. 7 points in the quarter.
Very impressive considering she shoots less than 28% from the three-point line, but coming out really aggressively here in the second quarter.
UC Irvine shooting nearly 70% for the game, and the lead is a dozen for the Highlanders.
Life is made up of precious moments. From the joy of seeing their first steps, to the feeling of a warm embrace from mom, to the comfort of coming home to a friendly smile. At IEHP, we know your health and happiness go hand in hand. That's why we're now offering covered California plans, including the lowest cost silver plan in the IE. So more members of our community can enjoy the feeling of being covered by IEHP. Call 1-855-538-IEHP to learn more.
To be like them, you've got to think like them.
I don't want to be like them.
Faster, David. Have you ever seen a cockroach scurry? We need you to be faster than that.
I'm on it.
Oh, not bad, Natalie. You have the reflexes of an Australian tiger beetle.
That's the fastest beetle on Earth. Thank you for calling Clark Pest Control.
Clark, we need you. When a pest emergency strikes, just say, Clark, we need you.
David. They can hear that, though. Okay.
This is a story about strength. It wakes up early in the morning, stays up late, moves mountains, and travels the world. It makes adventure and hard work possible. Strength delivers food to tables, packages to doorsteps, products to stores, and kids to practice. It shows up everywhere you show up. Hercules tires are built for almost every driver and every vehicle. Find the right Hercules for your story and let our strength drive yours.
Jersey Mike's freshly slices it right in front of you. The authentic Jersey way. You can't fake that. And look, you can fake a lot of stuff these days. You can fake my outfit, but you can't fake freshly sliced turkey. You can fake these haunches, but you can't fake freshly sizzled bacon. Nay, you just can't fake a freshly sliced Jersey sub. It's nice to be back in my real body. Number 13, please. Made the authentic Jersey way since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
When your heating and air conditioning system stops working, how do you know who to call? Call one of those big corporations and you're just a number. But at Magnolia Heating and Cooling, we treat everyone like family. That's because we're family owned and based here in Riverside. Your neighbors trust Magnolia Heating and Cooling, and we've earned a great reputation over the years. Call to experience the Magnolia difference.
For any heating and cooling repair, call 1-800-2-GET-AIR.
Ready to get back to action here in the Inland Empire. UC Riverside with a hot start, looking for their first win over UC Irvine in this building in 6 years. A 12-point lead as we approach halftime here at the SRC Arena. Nick Hope, Christian Filliman, and our entire ESPN Plus crew. Summa Hansen had her shot altered by Esther Matarranz. And UC Riverside comes away with the basketball. The Highlanders shooting 68% so far and getting balanced production up and down the roster. And there is Matarranz getting the kiss off the glass.
Just had her 9th block on the defensive end, scored in the paint on the offensive end. Esther Matarranz, great start to this coming out of the timeout sequence for the Highlanders.
And a turnover from UC Irvine. Madsen ambitious with that pass in traffic. Polk wants in on the action, but too strong from distance. And it's knocked out of bounds by Hackley. Eaters will have it.
Hackley coming in, averaging basically a point per minute. Only played 8 minutes and 27 seconds. 8 points to go along with 1 assist and 1 steal. She's a big reason as to why the Highlanders are in this lead right now.
Line change for Brad Langston and UC Riverside. Get Chicano, Rose, and Tillery back out there. Some fresh legs in the backcourt as UC Riverside chases Lee into the corner. Works back out for Scharf. Straightaway three. Hansen off the heel. And Chicano off the trampoline for the rebound.
Hansen had all the time in the world on top of the key there for that three-pointer. Unfortunate for her that she missed it.
Largest lead of the game for UC Riverside, but they turn it over. Michaela Rose did not track that ball all the way into her hands.
You could see that she was clearly thinking of driving to the basket. You could tell from the body language that the mind was working oppositely of what the hands did on that play.
There are 3 unbeaten teams in Big West play to this point. UC Davis, Long Beach State, and UC Irvine. The Anteaters with plenty of work to do, down 14. Attacking, laying it up and in, Deja Lee. Not much there, but the senior with a much-needed bucket for UC Irvine.
And she created something out of nothing, a strong drive for the senior from Canada. 5 points so far in the afternoon.
Wickstrom in traffic, just hoists it up there. And the ball collected by Hansen.
Matarranz got tangled down low. I'm surprised, for a quick second, I was surprised that she didn't jump up for the ball, but she was held back down.
Scharf looking inside. Now the screen from Niaore. And now another three jacked up. And this one well too strong from Lauren Madsen. And UC Irvine just 2 of 8 from distance to start.
One thing that the Highlanders might need to improve upon, though, is that three-point defense. They've had 2 3-pointers allowed by the Anteaters, uncontested with plenty of time to set.
Against the zone now for UC Riverside offensively. Tillery, back pass, traveling by Hannah Wickstrom. 2 minutes to play in the quarter. UC Irvine has committed 7 turnovers. UC Riverside has committed 6.
Both teams fairly even in that statistical category, right around 14.2 turnovers per game for the Anteaters. Not that much of a difference for the Highlanders at 14.8. So a lot of key metrics, very even. It's just a matter of who's going to protect the basketball better and who's going to be the better defensive team.
Hernandez, another pass in traffic. Hansen had it ripped away by Matarranz.
Matarranz, they were showing the flex cam during the last timeout. Matarranz showing her version of the flex cam here during the game.
UC Riverside slowing the pace. Tillery able to recover, find Matarranz, who's got Hansen all over her. Inside Matarranz, quick flip, well off, and Williams tangled up with Chicano. And the foul going against the Highlander there. 1:17 to play before halftime.
13. By Chicano, first personal.
I think some chatter at the end of the UC Irvine bench. A word from the official down there, and we're back to action. Both teams are just 2 team fouls. We have had very few free throws in this one.
Now the officials are letting both squads play.
Williams at the foul line, well short.
Fast break points have yet to be a thing for UC Riverside, as they haven't scored any points in transition, slowing things up to set the offense with under a minute to go here in the first half.
Wickstrom picked up by Tom. Now it's Rose, the taller Williams on her. 5 to shoot. Off the screen from Matarranz. Into traffic, blocked, and a foul. So it'll be an offensive foul against Rose. And was that Hernandez that got down and took the charge?
Did a great job planting the feet. drawing the charge on the Highlanders' second leading scorer. Highlanders, as the shot clock has started to expire in the last two games, they've struggled to get a really good look.
Quick trigger there from Tom, and another missed three by UC Irvine. And now UC Riverside can look to hold for the final shot of the first half. And what a first 20 minutes it has been for UC Riverside. Stagnant offense just 2 nights ago against Long Beach State. And now Tillery draws a double. Inside, Matarranz flings it up and in at the horn. And that just sort of encapsulates the first 20 minutes for UC Riverside. So much going the Highlanders' way.
And you can see the smile on Mataranz's face. She kind of looked surprised by the fact that she drilled that shot. Let's see if they could sustain this performance over the second half. UC Irvine is such a well-coached team. I can't imagine that they would allow this first half performance for the Highlanders to repeat itself here in the second half.
And the Anteaters have the basketball to begin the second half, trying to start 3-0 in the Big West for the third straight year, but needing to come from behind in order to do it. And they immediately go to their leading scorer, Hunter Hernandez. Quiet first half. That's now 7 points for her.
She's now 3 for 7 as far as field goals are concerned. Like you said, she is their leading scorer, and a great basket to start off in the opening moments of this third quarter.
Zoe Tillery off from 3. Offensive rebound, Wickstrom caught under the basket. Deja Lee just rips it right away.
The pickpocket extraordinaire makes herself prevalent yet again.
Rose, who has been equally as impressive this season and taking the ball away with the deflection. But Deja Lee, she holds UC Irvine's single-season steals record, had 82 of them last year. She's 5th on their all-time list. Both she and Nikki Tom on pace to break that all-time mark this year, as Williams is off from the outside.
An outstanding career for Lee, and her brother Torian, shout out to him, a freshman on UCI's men's basketball team.
Both UC Irvine squads should be right in contention for a Big West title this year. Tillery picked up her dribble, able to get it to Matarranz. And now Wickstrom, 5 to shoot, into the lane, scoops it up and in.
Solid drive by Wickstrom. Thought she was going to pull up for the jumper within that three-point line, but found herself a much higher percentage shot.
Hernandez a bit too strong off the window, got herself in good position in a hurry though. At the other end, Duchemin, 8 points in the first half for UC Riverside's leading scorer.
And she's perfect, 4 for 4.
And Rose down the lane, high off the glass, it will not go. And this is going to be a foul against UC Irvine, I believe, against Tom, trying to box out the taller Esther Matarranz.
Yeah, Matarranz liked that. She clapped as the official blew the whistle. And haven't seen no players really in too much foul trouble other than Nahum at 2. So a pretty clean game as far as fouls are concerned for both sides.
Wickstrom has this entire side of the court to herself. Now the defense collapses and Williams is right there to strip it, but throws it away as Tom went up the court. And so the Highlanders get the basketball right back.
Yeah, what a break. It was a clean strip. Thought they were going to go off running to the races, but another turnover for UC Irvine.
These are two of the best teams at taking care of the basketball in the conference. UC Irvine 1 and UC Riverside 3rd, both right around 14 turnovers per game. As Matarranz knocks it down, and UC Riverside continues to knock down their jump shots.
Matarranz now with her 8th point of the game, 4 for 7 shooting to go along with 6 rebounds.
Largest lead of the game for UC Riverside. Dean directing traffic. Inside, Hernandez, the double. Out for Dean. And the rebound for Matarranz. Loose ball foul will give UC Riverside the basketball here, the length of the floor. First foul against Deja Lee. UC Riverside went ice cold at the end of that Long Beach State game on Thursday. You'll recall they made a push to make it a 1-point game with a minute to play in the third quarter, and Long Beach State finished the game on a 20-6 run. And oftentimes this year, the Highlanders have seesawed throughout the game. One really good quarter followed by a quarter where they struggled on the offensive end, rose off the heel, and they've just been really consistent so far today.
They won the first quarter on their game against Thursday, played solidly in the third, but when it came down to it, didn't matter. There's a basket again by Hansen. Hansen, the second leading scorer of this team, was Big Sky, freshman of the year, a player to keep an eye on. 6'3", she could hit the jumper from the outside, gets done in the paint as well.
Well, those are her first points tonight. She started 0 for 6. Duchemin doubled, stepping through and lays it up and in. The scoop shots in the lane have been there for UC Riverside, and Duchemin is the first in double figures with 10.
A perfect 5 for 5 shoot, and just such a smart play to get that basket.
Quick release three from the corner. Olivia Williams, she can get hot. That's her second three tonight, and she's now in double figures.
That, without a doubt, was nothing but net. Splish Splash City for that trifecta.
Nikki Tom, the rebound at the other end. And let's see if UC Irvine can make a push. Lee spinning, can't finish. Rose does well to keep her in front, and it's out of bounds to UC Riverside.
Seeing Seneca Hackley check back into the game along with Gemma Cutler, replacing Wickstrom and Matarranz. Hackley had a brilliant first half. She scored 8 points. She had a career high 14 against Whittier. She's already on pace for that. Let's see if she can start to pick up some steam here in the third quarter. And with the lead being the way it is, I'm surprised that UC Irvine hasn't started going to that full court press a little more frequently.
And that zone trap that really got UC Riverside off balance in the second quarter. They stick with a man-to-man defense here, and Duchemin loses it out of bounds.
And she forced it into the paint. There was nobody there on that corner. Usually there would be a Highlander standing there on that corner, open for a three-pointer, but another turnover for the Highlanders, which there haven't been as many as UC Irvine today.
Lee, the pull-up. Battle for the rebound. And it's a foul against Tom. That'll be her second. Trying to get in for that offensive rebound.
She's picked up a couple of fouls going for rebounds. Now becomes the second anteater to have 2 fouls to go along with Nahum, who checks into the game for Hunter Hernandez. Here comes that press by the Anteaters.
And Chicano was not ready for the pass. Now Marshall just needs to take on Deja Lee and carries it across the timeline.
Oh, no big task. You're only going against one of the best defenders in the Big West. But Marshall getting right by that half-court line.
Trying to keep Lee at an arm's distance. Inside. An offensive 3 seconds against Cutler, who says, my bad. Timeout on the floor. UC Riverside continuing to lead by double digits. Looking for their first win over UC Irvine in 4 years.
Now Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Pay $0 when you file by 2/18. All tax forms, all 100% free. Now this is taxes. File free in the app by 2/18. When you switch to TurboTax, do it yourself.
If you're one of the 70% of adults struggling with their weight, struggling to access care, struggling to find treatment that works, the problem isn't you, it's your health care. HIMSS clears the path to affordable, personalized weight loss plans for those who need them. Through HIMSS, a range of treatment options, including compounded GLP-1 injections, are currently available and ready to be delivered to your door. Real change starts here with HIMSS.
Right this second, at some diner somewhere, I'll have a... Someone really wants a soda. But that same someone doesn't want to be like the only someone to order a soda. Embarrassing. Yeah, she's looking at you.
Yeah, I know the struggle is real, honey, but so are all these other...
What if there were a better soda?
Hon, get a Poppy. It's a soda with 5 grams of sugar.
Okay. Okay, so this waitress is a genius.
Can I get one, too?
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
I take the first shot, you keep it coming. We know a lot about turning nothing to something.
He is must-see television every time he puts that uniform on.
College basketball, it never disappoints.
Whoa! How fun is this?
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
Listen up, hockey fans. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. The hardest hits, the dangles, and of course, the sellies.
You gotta be kidding me! It's not real!
Enjoy every second of 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
UC Riverside has shot the ball well all night long, and Shelly Duchemin epitomizing that. She is 5 for 5, leading away with 10 points, and she's been the leading scorer all season long for the Highlanders.
Today she's had 10 points, 2 rebounds, she's drawn 2 fouls, and she's coming in very strong, having transferred from Northern Colorado last season where she didn't play. She's no stranger to action in the Big West, as she spent 2 seasons playing for the Matadors at CSUN, where she averaged 6.3 points per game. But she's had a very solid game today, double-figure points for her.
Duchemin was a starter her sophomore year at CSUN. And then, as you alluded to, only 9 games played last season with the Bears of Northern Colorado. And a huge cog for UC Riverside and Brad Langston this year. Inside, a foul going against Seneca Hackley. Ines Niaore, very physical there on the interior, looking to post up.
And a smart play to go to her, as there was a size mismatch between her and Hackley. Hackley did everything that she could, but 2 free throws now for the Anteaters, as they're down by 13 with 4 minutes and 32 in the third quarter.
One more coming for Niaore, who comes from a soccer family, originally from Orleans, France. She's the only one that started playing basketball. She also played a bit of handball as a goalkeeper growing up as well.
Team handball is such a fascinating sport. Great footwork is important to be successful in that game, so she takes a lot of that here to the hardwood floor.
Timeout called by UC Riverside with Marshall pinned on the sideline, and we will take one with them. It's 12. The lead for UC Riverside on home court.
Now Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Pay $0 when you file by 2/18. All tax forms, all 100% free. Now this is taxes. File free in the app by 2/18. When you switch to TurboTax, do it yourself.
What's in your wallet?
Hims. Why would I use Hims to have my ED meds delivered to my door? I love pharmacy lines.
Why would I use clinically proven ingredients to regrow my hair through Hims? I love wearing hats 24/7.
Why would I choose weight loss treatment I can afford through Hims? I love selling off my prized possessions.
Why wouldn't I get high quality care I can trust? I love Hims. Get treatment you'll actually love at Hims.com.
Right this second, at some diner somewhere, I'll have someone really wants a soda. But that same someone doesn't want to be like the only someone to order a soda. Embarrassing. Yeah, she's looking at you.
Yeah, I know the struggle is real, honey, but so are all these other...
What if there were a better soda?
Hon, get a Poppy. It's a soda with 5 grams of sugar.
Okay.
Back here in the middle of the third quarter in the Inland Empire, UC Riverside has led throughout as many as 16 points against UC Irvine, the defending Big West Tournament champions. And good reason to think that the Anteaters will be pushing for another one here this year. Despite what we've seen so far today, this is a UC Irvine team that projects to be perhaps better than last year's team, given Hunter Hernandez, Olivia Williams both had to redshirt last season, and now they're back this year.
Champagne wishes and caviar dreams. That's what's going on at Irvine. And Williams leading the Anteaters with 10 points. Hernandez with 7. I mean, a treasure trove of riches, an embarrassment of riches, if you will.
And a turnover by UC Riverside. Shot clock violation as Marshall lost the handle. So out of the timeout, nothing doing on the offensive end for the Highlanders.
One solid defensive team showing another defensive team how to get it done.
And there's a steal for Michaela Rose at the cup, left short. Out of bounds, last touch by Lee. But for Michaela Rose, only officially her first steal in the game, but she is third in the conference at steals per game. Usually getting at least a pair. She's had as many as 6 steals in a game this season.
It came into today's game with 30 on the season.
Got it in the corner here.
It's an intriguing matchup between her and Lee.
And the deep 2 off the mark. Offensive rebound for Cutler, cycled back out.
Huge rebound for the 6'3" Cutler. Tallest player on the hardwood for the Highlanders. Go along with Hansen on the other side, also standing at 6'3".
Chicano inside, Cutler to the corner, open Rose, 4-3, and UC Riverside extends the lead.
Fantastic movement by the bigs, finding a wide open Rose in that corner, and she's gonna bury it given the space.
UC Riverside has assisted on 3/4 of their made buckets. Williams inside, and the bucket goes. Nia Olray.
They gotta exploit that disadvantage. I mean, she has the size in the paint. She gets her hands on that basketball, nobody's gonna stop her.
7 points for Nia Olray off the bench, the JUCO transfer. Inside 3 minutes to play, third quarter.
Oh, they just missed Tillery wide open in the paint. There she is in the corner.
Spots the triple. And another offensive rebound, this time Seneca Hackley.
Hackley having a phenomenal game.
Tillery loose dribble. Last touch by Nia Olray.
Esther Matarranz checking in for Cutler. I think with Nia Olray doing damage in the paint, I thought 2 bigs would be down in there, but Matarranz comes in. A like for like in a way.
Six to shoot. Tillery deep 3 off the front of the rim. Another offensive board, and Chicano is fouled. Nia Olray frustrated to have that whistle go against her. UC Riverside, which feels like they've been working at their basket here for quite a while. Free throws coming for Maya Chicano.
The bench was getting ready to erupt had Chicano hit the basket, getting the foul. But haven't seen too many trips to the charity stripe thus far for the Highlanders. Team that shoots around 66% from the free throw line this season.
That was the first free throw of the game there from Chicano, who hasn't been to the line all that much this season. She's now 4 of 8 after splitting the trip.
Such a fun matchup here between Lee and Rose. 2 phenomenal defenders in the Big West.
Trying to get inside for Nia Olray, but Tillery with the deflection. As Duchemin will come back in for UC Riverside, leading the way with 10 points. But UC Riverside has 5 players that have scored at least 7. Super balanced today. Lee sitting on just 5 points. Now it's Williams falling away. Trying to get out her own miss. Hernandez in there as well. It's out of bounds to UC Irvine, a fresh 20 on the timer.
An unfortunate fresh 20 is they almost got the shot clock violation, the Highlanders, on the Anteaters, but now they have another opportunity here with 1:40 to go in the third quarter with the Highlanders up by 12.
Final 90 seconds of this third quarter. Can UC Irvine get it to single digits? And there's a foul against Matarranz. Only her first. And only the second team foul of the quarter against UC Riverside.
That's amazing if you really break it down, considering how many fouls they attracted in their last matchup against Long Beach State. Near steal by Rose.
And Lee stepping through, count it, plus the foul. Just what the doctor ordered for the Anteaters. Lee with a chance to make it a 9-point game.
Of course, you're referring to the lyrics of the great Robert Palmer's Doctor, Doctor, give us the news. Fantastic drive in, basket and the foul for Lee, taking Rose, attracting the foul. And now she has the opportunity to cut it to within single digits here in the third quarter. There we see the inbound play. Lee driving, sandwiching herself in between three Highlanders defenders and using that left hand to get the sweet kiss off the glass.
Can't finish off the three-point play. You saw Rose going for the steal. That gave Lee that step to then make the drive.
You still slice through that defense like a Ginsu knife to get that basket and the foul.
Tillery runs herself into trouble. Last touch there by Nevaeh Dean.
Yeah, she got bailed out.
Tillery gets it into Hackley. It was deflected by Tom. Only 7 to shoot. Rose took a gander at the shot clock. Trying to scoop it up and under, but stripped. And now here comes UC Irvine in the final minute. Lee all the way to the cup, lays it up and in. It's an 8-point game. Deja Lee strapping on the backpack and has UC Irvine back in it once down 16.
And that quick basket in transition enables them to set up a full court press, but Highlanders easily break through it. The difference about a 15 or so second, maybe make it 12 between the game clock and the shot clock. Highlanders looking to get another shot off here.
And Duchemin is fouled. And UC Riverside perhaps fortunate there as Deja Lee picks up her second as 3 players came to swarm Duchemin, who will head to the foul line. And UC Irvine was calling for a jump ball. But Duchemin to the line for the first time on the season at 70%.
One for one thus far. Don't want to give her the broadcaster's jinx. I know you don't believe in that, but Duchemin has not missed a shot yet.
And over the last 3 games has struggled to find some efficiency. Just 7 for her last 35 from the floor entering this game. Taking her time at the line. And there's her first miss from the floor today to make it a 9-point lead. And the shot clock off.
Look for Lee to take that final shot as she's gone in consecutive trips through the paint using that left hand to score.
Around the screen from Dean. Back out Hernandez looking inside. Hernandez rising up. Gets it to go off the glass. And that'll do it for the third quarter. UC Irvine, once down 16, they've got themselves within striking distance here on the road.
Credit Union One Free Checking has everything you need to bank on the go.
Pride's considering she's the reigning conference player of the year, but she's getting it. She's getting the job done, though. She's contributing to her teammates, 4 assists to go along with 3 steals.
And it's a 9-point ball game as we begin the fourth quarter. The UC Riverside had its quietest offensive quarter there in the third, 11 points on just 4 of 12 shooting.
They're falling around their season average in field goal percentage in that third quarter.
And Wickstrom traveled, took too many steps there with the shot clock winding down. And UC Riverside turns it over for the 15th time. So those numbers are starting to pile up for the Highlanders, and UC Irvine, they've buttoned up. They've started taking care of the basketball in the second half.
Now, UCR already above their season high with turnovers. They average about 14.6 per game, already above 15 with an entire quarter to go.
Here's Hernandez, had that bucket late, falling away, no, and Wickstrom had it for a moment and looks to commit a foul here going after that loose ball. Amelia Scharf able to draw that foul. Things trending the direction of UC Irvine right now. We're on a little 6-0, 6-1 run going to the end of the third quarter. And they've got loads of experience. Hernandez getting low, scooping it too strong. Rebound for Duchemin.
Did not get the friendly roll. Smart to use the right hand. Surprising Matarranz there. Matarranz would have swatted that into the stands had she used the left.
UC Riverside just 1 for its last 6 from the floor. Getting the shot clock getting down low. Knocked away right to Wickstrom. Has to get a shot up. And the rebound collected by Scharf. 2 good defensive stands to start the quarter for UC Irvine.
I think the Highlanders need to be a little more efficient with that shot clock setting set to expire. Running her in around 5. They need to go around 8 or 9 just to give themselves another opportunity should a ball get poked away or a shot get missed.
Tillery clears the rebound off the miss from Hernandez. Wickstrom inside, jarred free. It'll stay with UC Riverside. So the Highlanders not only trying to snap a 2-game losing streak in this season, but a 7-game losing streak to UC Irvine. Get their first win since January 8th, 2021.
And look at it, 4 years since the last time the Highlanders have beat the Anteaters.
And off the inbounds, it is Wickstrom putting it up and in.
Fantastic inbounding play, great wherewithal, heads-up play by Tillery to find Wickstrom cutting in. The Highlanders go back up by double figures.
And generate a turnover. Duchemin looking to go right to the cup. And it's an offensive foul. Scharf does well to get back defensively. 7:49 to play, and UC Riverside by 11.
The first miss in the field for Duchemin. She was quarterbacking that fast break play. She did have Wickstrom with her, tried to go in and attract the foul, but instead got the charge called against her.
And that's a blocking foul against Wickstrom. And UC Riverside really frustrated by that call. It'll be already the 3rd team foul against UC Riverside. So that is something to monitor. We haven't had many free throws in this game. And UC Riverside, to this point, they haven't shot it well when they've got there, but over the course of the season, they're a very good foul shooting team, 2nd best in the conference.
If it does fall down to the charity stripe, though, I mean, you'd have to give the edge to UC Irvine as they shoot as a team around 76%.
3 fouls now on Wickstrom, by the way. Lee for 3. Rattles home. Nothing going on that possession, but Deja Lee gets it to go from the outside. It's an 8-point game.
You see them trying to set up in their press, but Highlanders very quick at inbounding the basketball, not allowing the Anteaters to get set up. You see Hansen up top defending Matarranz. That pressure up top in the backcourt has been stifling.
Tillery cannot answer. And Deja Lee trying to bring the ball forward.
That was a close call as Matarranz was riding Lee's back for a second.
Hernandez in rhythm, can't get it to go. And Wickstrom had it for a moment and maintains.
Oh, I think they missed a foul there as Lee looked like she reached into Wickstrom on that run in transition.
Chaotic pace to this one at the moment. Lob inside. Matarranz can't finish the job. Rebound Hernandez.
Smart play. That's just the way you would have drawn it up, but too strong off the window for Matarranz. Anteaters opting to slow down this pace.
It has been frenetic here in the fourth quarter. Here's Nikki Tom. Knocked free. Picked up by Wickstrom. And gives it back for Tillery to command the basketball in the half court.
Great defense by Matarranz. She is one of the team's leaders as far as getting steals.
Matarranz at the foul line. Has a size advantage. Shakes and finishes. A little dream shake from Esther Matarranz.
Just such a smart play in the paint. You said it, had the size differential against Tom. Took complete advantage of it. Highlanders back up to 10.
10 points now for Matarranz. And the lead back up to 10 for UC Riverside, approaching the midpoint of the fourth. Williams, that's a three. Around and out, rebound. Tillery quickly finds Rose.
Interesting keeping a lot of the front court players up top, trying to find a jumper. Wickstrom wide open in the opposite corner.
Duchemin, jump stop, back out, Rose for three. And the rebound pulled away by Hernandez, and a loose ball foul going against Wickstrom. That's going to be her fourth. Or excuse me, they're going to call it against Matarranz instead, just her second. And that'll take us to a timeout on the floor. UC Riverside trying to pull off the upset against the defending champs on their home court. 4:55 to play.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. And get access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Now Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Pay $0 when you file by 2/18. All tax forms, all 100% free. Now this is taxes. File free in the app by 2/18. When you switch to TurboTax, do it yourself.
Why would I use Hims to have my ED meds delivered to my door? I love pharmacy lines.
Why would I use clinically proven ingredients to regrow my hair through Hims? I love wearing hats 24/7.
Why would I choose weight loss treatment I can afford through Hims? I love selling off my prized possessions.
Why wouldn't I get high quality care I can trust? I love Hims. Get treatment you'll actually love at Hims.com.
Right this second, at some diner somewhere, I'll have a... Someone really wants a soda. But that same someone doesn't want to be like the only someone to order a soda. Embarrassing. Yeah, she's looking at you.
Yeah, I know the struggle is real, honey, but so are all these other...
What if there were a better soda?
Hon, get a poppy. It's a soda with 5 grams of sugar.
Okay. Okay, so this waitress is a genius.
Can I get one too?
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
I take the first shot, you keep it coming. We know a lot about turning nothing to something.
He is must-see television every time he puts that uniform on.
College basketball, it never disappoints.
How fun is this?
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
Back for the final 4:55 in Riverside. Highlanders have led throughout by as many as 16 points. And now it's gut check time for one of the preseason favorites in the conference. And Deja Lee drawing a foul immediately out of the break from Jordan Marshall. And so that will result in free throws at the other end for UC Irvine.
It's the third. Oh, sorry, I was going to say it's the third foul that Deja Lee has attracted, and she's starting to come alive. The last time we came out of a timeout, she's sitting at 9 points, currently on 12, eyeing her 13th right here.
She's only 1 of 3 at the foul line in this game, but at 74% for the season, and gets the friendly touch there. And UC Irvine, as a collective, second best in the conference, 75% at the free throw line this season. And a 1-for-2 trip for Lee. Leading the way with now 13 points for UC Irvine, who trail by 9.
4 assists and 3 steals to go along with that.
UC Riverside has had balanced production throughout. There's a block. Hansen able to keep it in play. Up to Lee. Kicks it to the corner. Williams 3. Missed it all. And now Duchemin is going to back it out and finds an open Marshall. And that will allow more time to drip off the clock for UC Riverside.
Smart play, too. Looked having the ability to see through and get that pass into Marshall as she about to ran into an anteater buzzsaw.
Hackley, way too tall for Michaela Rose, who is 5'7", did all she could to get up to it. But it's a turnover, number 17 committed by the Highlanders.
That's 3 within this fourth quarter. As stated, they average less than 15 per game. Setting up in the press.
Hernandez having an inbound out of the corner. And UC Riverside will back off. Now O'Reilly picked up her dribble. Lee gets the pass. Hansen, that's a 3, too strong. Offensive rebound, Williams.
And that resets the shot clock. Gives the Anteaters another opportunity. See if Lee takes over here in this fourth quarter.
Inside, Hansen had it knocked free, but a foul. Free throws coming up for Summer Hansen as Hackley got in there. And UC Riverside frustrated that there have been 6 fouls called against them in this quarter and none against UC Irvine.
Hansen going to the free throw line is practically an automatic. She's number 1 in the Big West in free throw percentage, above 90%. One of the best in the country, boot as well.
Number 19 in the nation. Calmly knocks down the first. At one point, she made 16 free throws in a row this season. And gives UC Irvine a pair of foul shots there to get it down to within 7. This is as close as it has been in the entire second half.
Well, to quote the character Maximus from the movie Gladiator, are you not entertained?
Here's Duchemin and a foul. That'll go against Hunter Hernandez, just her second. Nobody on UC Irvine even has 3 fouls, so no concern there. Matarranz and Wickstrom, each with 3 for UC Riverside.
4th foul drawn by Duchemin. Hackley's been quiet after having an 8-point first half performance.
All in the second quarter. There's a deflection. Hernandez tipped it, and it's corralled by Hansen.
It's a big trip down the court for the Anteaters.
Lee all the way lays it in. It's a 5-point game.
Can't deny the reigning conference player of the year. Lee lighting things up here at the SRC Arena.
15 for Deja Lee. Anteaters have made it a 2-possession game. 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Eight on the timer. Rose crossing over. Hoist and draws the foul.
Smart play for Rose. Going into the land of the tall redwoods. Now she's going to have an opportunity at a couple of free throws here, which is something that we haven't seen from UCR very much in today's game.
Rose giving up 8 inches of height there against Summer Hansen. but will shoot her first free throws of the game, 69% on the season, as Nia Ore comes back in and Scharf heads to the bench. Rose, 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists tonight. Done a little bit of everything. And now needs to find the net here with one more foul shot.
Can't leave the door open for this UC Irvine team as they have snuck through quite candidly here in the second half. Down by as much as 16.
And missed them both. Rebound, skying up Hernandez. And Lee steaming herself into the front court before backing it off as we approach 2 minutes to go in regulation.
She had the space, thought she was going to go coast to coast.
Inside, Hansen slips behind Matarranz for 2. It's a one-possession game. UC Irvine has outscored UC Riverside, now 26-15 in the second half.
Important trip down the hardwood for UCR.
Hackley, too strong. The defense collapsing. Lee looking to attack. Back out Williams to tie the game. And the rebound for Duchemin.
A huge rebound for Duchemin at that. Brad Langston's going to call a quick timeout just to regroup his troops here with a minute 21. 3-point ball game. I'm sweating as if I'm playing today.
30-second timeout called by Brad Langston. And now it's a matter of, can UC Riverside, you feel like if they can get a bucket here, make this a 2-possession game again, and you're going to be able to really put UC Irvine in a tough spot. But how about what Deja Lee has done? Going back to the latter stages of the third quarter, she really took things over and commanded the offense for UC Irvine and have led them now almost all the way back.
Without her, there's no way the Anteaters get back into this ball game. Just the upperclassmen just showing us exactly how to get things done, having a solid performance defensively, offensively. Of course, the ball's going to be in her hands in the waning seconds. The Highlanders really need to convert on this basket to give themselves some kind of a cushion because the momentum right now is in favor of UC Irvine.
Just 4 points in this fourth quarter for UC Riverside. And Lee got a hand in there. Ball jarred free. Still loose. And it is UC Irvine on the ball, trying to call a timeout, but it's going to be a jump ball.
And that possession should favor Irvine.
Clara Joko just checked in for the first time today, able to get on that ball. Now Ore will replace her as the possession arrow favors UC Irvine. And now Tamara Inouye will take her full timeout here with 1:11 to play. And UC Irvine with a chance to tie with a 3.
Just look at that defensive effort by Lee, showing us why she's one of the best defenders and pickpockets in this Big West. And that forces the jump ball, which gives the Anteaters the possession of the basketball. A minute 11 left, down by 3. Hold your horses, folks. This is going to go right down to the wire.
3 more steals today for Deja Lee as she continues to climb the all-time chart at UC Irvine and is well on pace to set that all-time mark when this season is all said and done. But now it's offense time here for UC Irvine. And they have not shot the ball well in this fourth quarter. But you have to imagine the ball is going to be in the hands of their point guard, Deja Lee, and it's going to be up to her to decide what the best avenue is here in this possession upcoming.
She's had no problem attacking the basketball as we've seen her drive down the paint, score with the left hand on a couple of occasions. But with the knowledge of her having the basketball in her hand, the defense is more than likely going to collapse on her, and that's just going to open up the space for several of her teammates. And she's also distributing the basketball really well for the Anteaters. So you're always going to keep the ball in the hands of your star player, and without a doubt, Lee is the Anteaters' star player.
And a reminder, UC Irvine is in the double bonus. 2 timeouts for UC Riverside, still 3 timeouts for UC Irvine.
And it looks like they're opening things up offensively for Lee as she has space to maneuver.
And we're looking inside for Nia Ore. Now it's Hernandez to the corner for Williams. Still plenty of time on the shot clock here. Hernandez has a step from the foul line. Gets it to go. Hunter Hernandez makes it a 1-point game.
She's had a very quiet game today, but a huge basket within 15 feet.
Rose wide open, knocks down the triple. Michaela Rose drills her second three of the game, and the lead is now 4.
Huge basket by Rose. Once again, taking the Highlanders to Splash City. Couldn't have come in a bigger time. There we see Tillery with the pass, hitting Rose, who was wide open. And the Highlanders now have some cushion, not much, but some, with 42 seconds, less than 42 seconds remaining.
Tamara Inouye burns another timeout here. She'll be able to advance the ball into the front court. But in breaking that press, Michaela Rose left open. She had the hot hand from deep the other night against Long Beach State. A couple of threes in this second half. Now in double figures with 10. 41.8 to go. Looks like they're double checking the time on the clock just to make sure that every second or fraction of a second is accounted for. So they'll put 0.4 of a second on the clock here. To 42.2 to play. And not only a much-needed bucket for UC Riverside, but now you're up by 2 possessions.
And so with that timeout, that enables the Anteaters to set up on their side of the hardwood. So huge defensive stop, very much needed by the Highlanders here in the waning moments of this fourth quarter.
And UCI still with 2 timeouts. Lee looking in. Not there. She was open for a second, Nia Ore.
Wide open.
Hernandez lost the handle onto the ground. Back out for Hansen. Precious seconds dripping away as Hansen missed the layup. Matarranz the offensive rebound to Rose. And a foul is called against Hernandez with 16.8 to go.
And this is going to be a huge trip to the line for Michaela Rose. She missed her last 2 free throws in her last attempts at the charity stripe, but she has an opportunity to close this game out and put the nail in the coffin to the Anteaters for the first time for the Highlanders in 4 years.
So UC Riverside will take a full timeout here and make sure they are buttoned up. Again, UC Irvine hadn't committed any fouls in this quarter until recently, so they still have to foul once and then once more to get UC Riverside on the foul line.
Then I stand corrected then. I thought Rose was going to the free throw line, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so still 2 fouls to get into the bonus and force those free throws. Of course, UC Irvine will be looking for a steal first and foremost, but they don't have a lot of time to mess around here. If they can't get that steal, they got to foul as soon as possible. But what a win this would be for UC Riverside. They started the year 1-5, had a 5-game winning streak to get above 500, including a 2-0 start in the Big West. And they dropped their last 2. Were in it with Long Beach State on Thursday and then wilted late. And now here today, short turnaround as you have here in conference play from Thursday to Saturday. They have led wire to wire against a UC Irvine team who's one of the favorites in the conference.
Yeah, just 1 point shy of getting the first place nod. The Highlanders were predicted to finish 8th. And not a surprise considering the amount of talent they lost from last season's squad. But yeah, I'm surprised that at this juncture of the game that there's still fouls to give.
So Wickstrom to inbound. Claire Joko back in, a 6-foot forward. Provides some more length here for the Anteaters. And trying to hound Wickstrom, who doesn't have anywhere to go, and then finally finds Tillery all alone in the backcourt.
That was close. Almost got the 5-second call on that inbound. Tillery's going to be fouled.
Now Scharf committing the foul. 12.7 to play. So UC Riverside able to get about 4 seconds off the clock, and now the next foul will result in free throws. Again, it's Wickstrom, defended by Joko.
Smart to put such a tall player on the inbounder.
And they get it into Tillery, and she is fouled immediately by Hernandez. So Hernandez now with 4 fouls, by the way, as Tillery will make the walk into the front court to shoot the free throws. And on the season, Tillery just 55%. And some pressure ones upcoming. It'll be a 2-possession game either way, how this spells out. As Tillery had 7 early points in this ball game. All coming back in that first quarter. It was a hot start for her and UC Riverside as a whole, for that matter. Splits the pair. It's a 5-point game. Clock running, 10 seconds. Hernandez streaking down the middle. Goes right at Matarranz, who commits the foul. 4th foul against Matarranz. Stops the clock with 6.8 to play, and free throws coming for Hunter Hernandez.
Smart play. I mean, with the time starting to wane down, you got to go in there and draw the foul. And Hunter Hernandez, a great free throw shooter as well, just under 82%. Second best free throw shooter on the Anteaters, but with the most free throws made on the season.
Now at 12 points on the ball game. Her first free throws of the night. And she's able to make it a 3-point game. And now UC Riverside will call timeout here and advance the ball. Protecting a 3-point lead with 6.8 to play. UC Irvine, one of 3 unbeatens in the conference. UC Davis and Long Beach State have both started 4-0. UC Irvine dominant in their first 2 conference games. They allowed just 40 points to Bakersfield in the opener, then just 38 points the other night to Cal Poly. Still a low-scoring affair here tonight. UC Riverside's hot shooting early, putting them in front. They're only shooting 33% in the second half, but hoping that big lead they built will carry them home here.
A huge inbound play here for Hannah Wickstrom as we see the Highlanders completely spread out. Matarranz and Rose in the backcourt trying to find Duchemin. Duchemin's going to draw the foul on Hernandez.
Only half a second coming off. That's it for Hernandez. That's her 5th.
Shelly Duchemin came here to UC Riverside to have big moments, big baskets, and a lot of playing time. And it's one of the biggest opportunities that she has here in this season, the opportunity to possibly knock out a conference favorite in winning the Big West.
So Hernandez is out. Lauren Madsen in for her. Hansen also returns. Offense, defense subs. Inouye getting ready to spend one of her final 2 timeouts here. So Duchemin needs to knock down this free throw to make it a 2-possession game.
That door is still open for the Anteaters. 6.3 seconds, still plenty of time.
And she got it. Now 2 of 4 at the line in this one, and now UC Irvine will advance the basketball with their 3rd called timeout, just a 30-second timeout. Up next for the Anteaters, they will have a couple of home games next week against CSUN and UC San Diego. It'll be a 1-game week for UC Riverside as they will travel to Hawaii for a Thursday game. And there's the road ahead for UC Irvine. The Anteaters open for some help here. And this is where, if you're UC Riverside, you just cannot foul a 3-point shooter at any cost.
You're absolutely right. Hansen, a prolific 3-point shooter. Taking a look to see who's on the court. Deja Lee is also a great 3-point shooter at around 36%. Olivia Williams, too.
And they go to Lee in the corner. Shot fake. Time dripping away. Williams fouled. Wickstrom can't believe it. Shot does not go. But it will be free throws coming for Olivia Williams.
I have to take a look at that again. From our angle, it didn't seem as if that should have been a foul. There we go. Here we see the replay. There's the pass from Lee. I don't see too much on that, but needless to say, there's going to be 3 free throw attempts here with 3.1 seconds in the game.
Fourth foul, by the way, against Wickstrom. And now here's Williams at the line. She is perfect on the season, and there is her first miss. She was 9 for 9. One more coming. Back down to a one-possession game. And UC Irvine, they got one more timeout. They can set up their defense if Williams can make it. She does not. Duchemin's got it, and she's fouled with 1.4 to go. And one free throw should do it for Shelly Duchemin.
That's just a huge rebound for Shelly Duchemin, who had the hot hand, was perfect in the first half. She's in double figures, drew a lot of fouls, and has an opportunity once again. I don't want to sound redundant, but the nail in the coffin. It's up to Duchemin right here to take that hammer and smash it in to the Anteaters today.
And she does just that. 13 points now for Duchemin, to go along with 6 rebounds and 3 steals.
Great trip to the charity stripe.
And so that is it. Nothing that UC Irvine can do. And UC Riverside gets their first win against UC Irvine in 4 years. Their 7-game losing streak to the Anteaters is over.
Well, it wasn't a great way to start 2025 with that loss to Long Beach State, in particular with the way the Highlanders shot the basketball. But today they did a complete 180. Total team performance, fantastic efforts across the side. Exciting matchup between both teams, and perhaps we might see a rematch in the Big West Conference tournament.